TikTok is ruining your life, and my life, and all of our lives. Don't be confused. The boomers aren't right in saying that we're stupid or self-obsessed or the me generation. The fact is that these things, our phones, are pocket casinos. It's no secret that our phones are unimaginably useful. They make us superhuman, like cyborgs just unattached. We gain access to all of human knowledge, computing power greater than even the smartest humans, and even the ability to always know where the nearest McDonald's is. The issue is that it's addictive. The average American spends 7 hours on screens each day, with more than half of that being dedicated to their phones. For Generation Z, it gets even larger, with 9 hours of screen time. Over 50% of American teenagers would say that they're addicted to their phones. Here's the thing. This screen addiction, time wasting, isn't really on us. Our social media apps, the TikToks, Instagrams, and Twitters, are designed to get us hooked. All of these apps are run by companies, which, surprise, surprise, are looking to make a profit. They don't charge for the service, so instead they run ads to make money and collect our data to show us the right ads. Now, who can't watch ads? Right, people who aren't on the app. These companies are incentivized to keep you there as long as humanly possible. Luckily, the business model of keeping you somewhere so they can farm you for money already exists. Any guesses? Any guesses? Casinos. Yeah, it's casinos. They suck you in and give you drinks. No windows, no clocks. Time really flies when you're having fun and can't see that the sun is rising outside. TikTok works just like a slot machine. Through long-term potentiation, you learn to associate the action with swiping up with that sweet, sweet hit of dopamine. It's not as strong as the nicotine or a bump of cocaine, sure, but it is easily repeatable. So the hit might not be that big, but the opportunity cost is tiny. Swiping is easy, and next thing you know, it's been 3 hours, and you gotta get up soon for your 9 a.m. class. Historically, we would get this dopamine in response to stuff like eating food, doing exercise, having sex, or positive social interactions. The kind of stuff that we wanted to positively reinforce. But our brains can't tell the difference between those things and TikTok. Dopamine is dopamine is dopamine. And we can all be honest, it is much easier to swipe than to do any of those other things. Have you tried running? It's not just that we'll consume any slop of content, although that might be true. It's our monkey brains going up against a complex algorithm that has been meticulously designed to feed us exactly what we want to watch. Or rather, exactly what we will watch. I mean, honestly, who are you gonna pick in this fight? Me, who had to look up how old Timothée Chalamet is, 27, or a complex AI that has access to all my data, everything I've ever liked, the exact amount of time I've spent on each post. It probably even knows my favorite candy bar. It's not exactly fair, and that's why time and time again we lose. That's why we spend 9 hours a day on this thing. It's a magical good chemical box designed to hold you as long as possible. It's not just TikTok that does this, but every social media app is designed to use your monkey brain against you and to make you keep coming back. And it works. I know these tricks. I know notifications are there to hook me. So I turn them off. To the annoyance of many people, I am always on Do Not Disturb, which basically means I don't get any notifications. And still, I find myself constantly swiping down to check if I've gotten a new Snapchat or a new text because it feels good. My least favorite person in the world could Snapchat me, and I would still get that hit of dopamine. I have friends who know that TikTok adds no value to their lives, so they delete it. Except now they spend the same amount of time watching Instagram Reels. We can't beat the algorithmically advantaged pocket casinos. We spend a lot of time on social media, but big whoop. What's actually bad about it? Spending a lot of time somewhere isn't inherently bad. A casino is bad because you lose your money. So, what does social media take from us? I was a prolific TikToker back in the day. That is how I found out what the harm really is. Performance was on the rise, and I saw it as a great opportunity to become famous. Wow, TikTok is on the rise. I see this as a great opportunity to become famous. So I started off hard at work. Well, at least as hard as one can work while making TikToks. I made some classic comedy skits. I would play all the characters by changing my shirt or even sometimes putting a towel on my head.
I have to tell this girl something, but I don't know how. Oh, that's super simple. Just use a compliment sandwich. Say something nice, something you actually have to say, and then another nice thing. Oh, okay, I'll try it. Good luck. You got this, man. Listen, I need to tell you something. What is it? I really like your shoes. The test results came back and your son does have a fatal illness, and I think we should go out sometime. Oh my god! I know. I'd love to go out sometime.
I didn't do too bad for myself, getting anywhere from 10 to 50 likes on each video. But if anyone I knew so much as mentioned the video, I would become deathly embarrassed. My face turning fire truck red, I would change the subject as quickly as possible. It didn't matter if it was criticism or praise. I hated the idea that someone would perceive me as the guy who makes TikToks. I simultaneously wanted to be famous on TikTok and no one to think of me as a TikToker. Paradoxical, maybe, but that was my ideal world. Anyone born on the internet, anyone who's had Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter from a young age has been performing from a young age, carefully deciding what parts of life to show and which parts to hide away. I wanted to be the guy famous for making TikToks without being a guy who cares about TikToks. Here's the thing. Earnestly making a TikTok that gets 20 likes is cringe. Making that same TikTok that gets 10,000 likes, it's impressive. It's cool. You just shouldn't care about it. Don't try. Just be naturally funny. Through my continued effort to TikTok, and maybe a bit more pandering to the trendy topics, I did eventually achieve my goal of being one of those highly honored niche internet micro-celebrities. I grew and amassed over 80,000 followers. It was everything I had wanted. I went from major embarrassment over my TikTok to, well, still being embarrassed. My goal was achieved. I was famous, kinda, and yet somehow I wasn't completely fulfilled. I wasn't happy or satisfied with my life. While my situation might have been somewhat unique, the problem with it is all too common. Constant self-scrutinization. At ages 8 to 10, children start to be able to verbalize a sense of self-esteem. They also start to understand that success in areas deemed important leads to high self-esteem, whereas failures in those same areas lead to the opposite. As they progress into adolescence, parental approval becomes less important, and peer approval becomes the main measuring stick of success. The peers choose what areas are important, what matters. I exemplify this quite well because my parents adored my TikToks. I mean, they absolutely loved them. But that didn't mean jack to me. I was focused on the opinions of other freshmen, whom I held in such high regard. Despite my success, I was still embarrassed who I made, or worse, cared about TikTok. As I said, I wasn't fully fulfilled or even very happy. Once, I had a video with 1 million views and more than 200,000 likes. And that did make me happy, I'll admit. But the downshot of something great like that is that 10,000 likes felt like an abysmal failure. Every time after that day, if a video didn't perform well, I was crushed by it. I would analyze what I did wrong, why I wasn't funny anymore, why I wasn't entertaining, why people didn't like me. I ran the gambit of everything I could attribute my failure to, from bad lighting to just being straight up ugly. As you can imagine, this wasn't great for me or my mental health. Countless studies have shown the correlation between higher social media usage and worse mental health. Often, this is blamed on unrealistic standards, set by the Kardashians of the world and internet bullying. I think that both of those things exist and do affect the health of people on social media. But I think the larger issue comes not from acts of bullying or Kim and Khloe, but from the regular act of presenting yourself online. From a young age, we realized that the internet is somewhat of a panopticon.
Okay, so what even is a panopticon? Well, basically, it's a prison designed with one large guard tower in the middle where he can look at every single prisoner in their cells that are circled around him. So the idea is that he can be looking at any one of them at any given time, but nobody in the cells knows which one he's looking at. So they all have to assume that they are the one being watched, and thus no one misbehaves or steps out of line. I'd also like you to note how well this panopticon is drawn. I had to commission a real good artist, so I hope you appreciate that.
At all times, you might be being observed, not by some prison guard on high, but rather by all of your peers, who are also in their own little cells. Everyone watches everyone. And through this social pressure, everyone feels the need to perform correctly, to care about those chosen, important areas. This leads to the self-scrutinization of every action, of every post. It's not when someone calls you dumb online or when you look at The Rock and think, I need to have that physique. It's the tiny things. When you get a few less likes than normal. When someone doesn't respond to your Snapchat. When no one swipes up on your story. It can lead to a spiral of every conceivable reason why this happened. Why your peers didn't approve of your behavior. It's not healthy. Higher social media usage leads to higher rates of anxiety and depression. I was lucky. I figured out that my TikTok was hurting me far more than it helped me. So I quit. I privated all the videos and stopped posting. It helped me, but I didn't stop performing. Even right now, I'm performing to you. While this is an honest piece of me and a part of my life, it's also a script, something I've gone over again and again, to sound the way I want to sound, to look the way I want to look. And if no one likes this or cares about it, I'll probably feel bad about it. But what can you do? How can you not perform? We innately want to be part of the group, to not stick out. It's bizarre, but it makes sense. So what's the point? What are we meant to do? Deleting all social media would certainly help, but doing that restricts you from a large part of social life. It removes you from the culture of the internet. You can, and probably should, work to spend less times on the things that add no value to you. Try to convince yourself to work a bit harder for your dopamine hit. Some of those things can be pretty fun. Something as simple as being cognizant that it is a pocket casino, or your potential to self-analyze can be helpful. Good luck, and don't forget to click on that next video. The YouTube gods curated it just for you.